Hey there guys, good morning. It is Tuesday, June 11th. Welcome to our morning news update. We're going to run through the stories that really seem to have you talking, that you're clicking on khou.com, that you're sharing on our KHOU Facebook page. And I really want to encourage you, if you have a question about a story, go ahead and ask it. If you want to make a point about one of the stories we cover, post it in the comments, and we're going to try to revisit those at the end of all of this. But these are the kind of the top stories that you're clicking on, and we're starting with a couple really scary home invasions that happened overnight. So you're looking at the scene right now from a home on Windfern in the Cypress area. So what happened was, mom's home with her kids. Guy knocks on the door. She answers it. He pushes his way in and demands money from her, and in the end ends up shooting her. So she is expected to be okay. She went to the hospital. The kids are okay, but the guy ran off. There's no suspect in this case yet. And then we had another one of these near the Heights. This is on Darling. So 3 masked men held a family at gunpoint. They barged in. There was a dad and his 8 and 9-year-old kids inside. The masked men tried to get a hold of some money that was in the family's safe, and when they couldn't, they shot dad. Again, he's expected to be okay, but went to the hospital. No suspects in that one either. We have more information on khou.com about both of those cases. Just really, really terrifying. Our next topic is a little more controversial. You guys are talking about it for different reasons. So you just saw Misty DeJaro and her 10-month-old son, Max. So they were at Nestler Aquatic Center. That's the video you're looking at. They were here on Sunday with some family, and Max got hungry. So Misty fed him, and when she was breastfeeding him, she says the manager came over, told her she needed to stop or leave, and then eventually called the police on her. And we have the body cam video from the Texas City police officer's response. That's the next one here, Jaime, if you want to roll that one. And you can kind of see their interaction. So for context, you see that slit in her top. That's what Misty says. She just slid over to feed Max. It is legal to breastfeed publicly. But the issue that a lot of people have is they just want her to cover up. The law doesn't say that you have to. And now here is Misty's response to how all this played out.
I've tried to be as discreet as possible when it comes to breastfeeding already. I understand you warrant views and people's opinions, but not to the point that you get kicked out of a public place because you decide to feed your child.
So Texas City did issue an apology, said that city policies and procedures are going to be reviewed and revised as deemed necessary. Any deficiencies regarding our employees' actions will be addressed with further training. So many of you had something to say about this on our Facebook page. Some think she could have taken steps to avoid this. Diane suggests using light fabric to cover up. The next person here, Kimberly, says you need to have respect for others and their children, basically saying that she needed to cover up while she was feeding Max. But a lot of people are really supportive. Jamie here calls the whole situation pathetic. She can't believe that the cops were called on a nursing mother. And then Beth says the manager was 100% wrong. Nowhere does the law say that you have to cover up. So what do you think? Where do you fall on this one? I've shared my thoughts on Facebook and Twitter earlier today. You can check out my pages to kind of get my take, but I'd like to hear from you. Was the manager in the wrong? Legally, yes, but there you go. There's that one. Okay, so I'm going to start this one off by asking, what's the biggest thing you've ever lost? I lost the keys to my storage unit. I'm going to have to go get something to cut off the lock. But NASA apparently lost a lunar module. Like you do. It's been missing for about 50 years, since 1969 when they fired it off. This is the Snoopy module. It was sent to go orbit the sun in 1969 and was never seen again. and the thought was that it never would be seen again. But an astronomer and his team, they're 98% sure that they found it. Just hanging out there. It's going to take a whole lot more work, though, to be 100% sure that it's actually Snoopy. So how about that? Puts everything in perspective. You forgot your keys this morning? Don't worry. NASA can lose entire lunar modules. And then finally, guys, Build-A-Bears Pay Your Age is back. Remember these crowds from last year? It was insane. People waited for hours, like the stores had to shut down. Basically chaos. Well, Build-A-Bear's bringing it back, but with some changes. So here's how it's going to work. There's going to be a 200,000 person limit, and to take part, you have to register with the bonus club, and you have to sign up by Sunday, June 16th. So this next Sunday. And the idea is pretty cool, right? You pay your age. So if your kid is 12 months or younger, you're paying $1 for a Build-A-Bear. If you're 36, like some people you may be familiar with, then you're paying $36. But it is a pretty fun event. I want to know if you're going to do it. Are you brave enough to brave those crowds? This video, it cracks me up. And I get it. As a parent of kids who totally went through the Build-A-Bear phase, that would have been an amazing opportunity. But no, now they're 12 and 13. They're done with most stuffies. All right, talking about your forecast. Maybe you noticed today is a little bit cooler. We're going to use the air quotes because it's still really hot, but it's not as hot as it was, say, Sunday. And overnight, when you wake up tomorrow, walk out the door, you're going to notice it is cooler. It's going to be in the 60s, probably the nicest morning we're going to have for a good long while. I'm thinking through September. But here's my final question for you, and then we're going to go back through and read some of your comments. I want to know, are you a Houston summer person? Or are you a Houston winter person, right? I know there's some of you out there who don't want a cool morning in the 60s right now. You're like, give me the heat. I have, basically my father-in-law is, I call him a lizard. He just loves, and he openly admits this, he just likes to sit out there and sweat and soak up the sun and the heat. And some of us melt in this, but appreciate the other 9 months of the year when it's pretty moderate and awesome and you can spend so much time outside. So which are you? Are you a Houston summer lover or a Houston winter lover? You can let me know. All right, this is the first time I have my laptop here, so we're gonna go back through the comments and see what you guys have to say about some of these stories. If I can pull them up, we'll see. Now, why is it not working? This is what happens. Me and technology, you have no idea. I'm glad Jaime is running this whole side of things. It's punching up the video, and even the what we call the super that you see right here. He is responsible for that, because if I tried to run it, no, this would never happen. Okay, good morning, Leslie, Johnson, Hilda, Tracy. Oh, Rachel just moved from Darling Street in the near the Heights, where one of those home invasion happens. That is crazy. Isaac says, why don't you tell the truth? He says the mom who was kicked out had both of her, I'm going to use a different word, both of them out. The thing is, she doesn't have to. She says she didn't. The manager says she did. On the body cam, it doesn't show because she was done feeding Max. So, I mean, the thing is, she doesn't have to cover any of it up when she's breastfeeding. Yeah, that seems to be the sticking point for a lot of you. Although Karen says people need to grow up. Okay, these are kind of funny. Let's keep it appropriate though, guys. Okay, I'm gonna scroll through all these because I think we've summed up how y'all feel about the Texas City story. Although this is what all of you are commenting on.
Yeah, I think everybody definitely has an opinion about the circumstances.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think any one situation is probably going to change your mind. We did have a pretty good debate about it though this morning on H-Town Rush. I mean, Cheetah, Steph and I are all moms. Lisa is too, but she was off today. And that gives you new perspective, I think. You definitely stop looking at certain areas as like primarily sexual. I will say that. It turns very biological very quickly. This is seriously, this is what you guys are fired up about. And we've really seen that on our Facebook page when we posted the story. Jason Miles did it yesterday. And I think, you know, a lot of the other stations in town did it too, because it is one of those stories that everyone has an opinion about. And we're always very quick to share. Ricardo, okay, now we're switching to Build-A-Bear. Ricardo says they're not that expensive. I will tell you, as a mom of toddlers who wanted those things, they were though. They were, and then you get all the add-ons. You can throw like, they're walking out with like in sync. I don't even know, but I remember one time they got like a heart that sang. You don't need that. And then they were over it. Okay, now we're getting into the weather question. Steven is a summer person. Sumera, winter lover like me. Rachel calls the weather bipolar. Yeah, it's one or the other. You don't really get an in between. We are in summer, or we are in winter, but it's not really wintry. It's not like a Minnesota winter, so that's nice.
It's a rainy winter.
Yeah, Rachel picks winter. Renee loves both. I mean, Houston does give you a pretty good mix. I think back to last winter when we had like the ice storm and a little bit of everything. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through here. Yeah, Jessica says the Build-A-Bear thing was a train wreck last year. That is why they've put in these new rules and restrictions. So 200,000, the limit's 200,000 this year. That's how many people were at like City Center or Memorial City Mall at the Build-A-Bear location. I swear, like half of Houston was out there in line, ready to get their pay your age Build-A-Bear. Leslie likes winter in Houston. Lauren likes summer. Marlon likes spring. What do you qualify as spring in Houston? Because it's like 3 weeks, maybe?
Maybe, if you're lucky.
I feel like tomorrow is going to be a nice spring morning. We'll have a spring morning and then right back into insane heat.
Just enough to remind you what it's like.
Yeah, it is good. We get those little reminders. We need to get you mic'd up.
I am mic'd up.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know y'all could hear Jaime. I thought you were just maybe listening to him off of my mic. When did we do that? Have you always been?
No, just today.
See, we're learning as we go, folks. Thank you for being on this ride with us. But okay. Mary's calling today a fall morning. Mary. It's not a fall morning. Doesn't feel like a fall morning. Tomorrow, maybe. Jessica likes the 100-degree weather. It's weird. The burn is great. No, some people totally love it. Are you a summer or winter person?
I am a winter person. The only time I like the heat is if I'm at the beach.
So I'm conflicted here because I grew up in Oregon. You go to the beach, it's not the beach, it's the coast. And you don't really go in the ocean because one, when you go to the coast, it's still like 50 degrees and the wind is howling and you're in a sweatshirt and jeans and boots. And the water's 40 degrees. It's, we'll call it excessively refreshing. But you come to the beach in Galveston and it's like getting in a shower. It's not on a hot day, I don't want to go to the beach because there's no relief there.
I can see that. I can understand that. But that's what it pulls for, though.
Yeah. I need to figure out where to find a pool, a good community pool. Daniel says it feels like summer. Yeah. Should we wrap it up? I think this has been good. I like this. Good experiment. We've got Jaime, we've got your comments. This is a good little convo going. All right, we're gonna try this again tomorrow. And we'll have another update for you coming up at 2:15 this afternoon. So until then, have a wonderful day.